So listen to this. These guys made over $3.5 billion from literal mud. Because deep in the South American jungle, that mud was packed with illegal gold. And 3 regular salesmen from Miami were the only ones crazy enough to go get it. This is Juan. He's a sales guy at a Miami gold refining company called NTR Metals. He's not a kingpin, he's not a gangster. He's a normal dude who used to sell subprime loans. And every day he's seeing these small-time dealers come in with gold. But it's different. It's dirty. It's straight from the ground, no paperwork, no questions asked. And Juan sees the company buying it, and he gets an idea, a huge, insane idea. He knows the company wants more gold, always more. But they have compliance rules. They're supposed to ask questions. So he sees the loophole. What if they get so much gold so fast that the company gets addicted? What if the profit is so big they'll be forced to look the other way? He grabs 2 other guys from the office, Samer, the boss for Latin America, and Renato, another sales guy. They all worked together before, slinging bad mortgages. They know how to sell. Now, they're forming a crew, the trifecta. Their plan? To become the biggest suppliers their own company has ever seen. The side hustle starts small. They're just connecting the local dealers to their company, taking a cut. But the money, bro, it's not enough. It's never enough. Juan wants more. He knows the real source isn't in Miami. It's south, way south. And so he gets on a plane. He's flying to Peru, deep into the Amazon. This isn't a business trip. This is him walking directly into the lion's den. He's meeting the miners. These aren't organized companies. These are thousands of guys in muddy pits, using mercury and fire hoses to rip the gold out of the earth. They're destroying whole-ass rainforests to do it. The whole area is a toxic wasteland controlled by criminals. Juan doesn't care. He sees the supply. He tells them, whatever you can dig up, I'll buy it. All of it. The deals are made. And suddenly the floodgates open. Massive multi-million-dollar shipments of illegal gold start flowing from the jungle directly to their refinery in Miami. And the money, it just explodes. We are talking about a level of wealth that is just stupid. And these aren't just rich guys anymore. They are creating generational wealth from a criminal scheme. Juan, Samer, and Renato are living like absolute kings. They're buying fleets of luxury cars. We're talking Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Rolls-Royces. They're buying million-dollar mansions in the most exclusive Miami neighborhoods. They've got boats bigger than some people's houses. They're dripping in gold watches that cost more than a college education. And all of it, every single dollar, is coming from that dirty gold. It's the ultimate hustle, mud into millions. But here's the problem with a hustle that big. You need more product, always more. The little guys in the jungle can't keep up. Their demand is too big. So Juan and his crew, they have to go deeper. They have to start making deals with the people who really control the mines. And now, we're talking about narco-traffickers. Straight up. These aren't just criminals. These are the most violent and powerful drug cartels in South America. The gold mines are just a side business for them, a way to wash their cocaine money clean. So now the trifecta isn't just buying dirty gold. They're buying blood gold. They are directly funding the cartels. The stakes have escalated from a white-collar crime to a life-and-death game. One wrong move, one missed payment, and these guys don't just get fired, they disappear in the jungle. Juan is so deep in it, he's texting his partners that he feels like Pablo Escobar. He's not just a salesman anymore, he thinks he's a kingpin. So how do you hide this? How do you move $3.6 billion of illegal gold into the United States without anyone noticing? This is where their genius comes in. It's a masterclass in faking it. First, the paperwork. Every single shipment has a paper trail, but it's all fake. They create a whole universe of lies. They take the gold that's ripped out of the ground in Peru and say it's from Bolivia or Ecuador or Colombia. They bribe local officials to stamp the documents. They create shell companies, front companies that exist only on paper to be the exporters. One of their main fronts is a company that shares an address with a fancy home decor store in Coral Gables. It's a complete fantasy designed to fool U.S. Customs. Second, the payments. You can't just wire billions of dollars to narcos, so they set up another web. They send the money from their company, NTR Metals, to the shell companies. Then those shell companies wire the money to dozens of smaller accounts across Latin America. It's a maze. A dizzying, deliberate confusion of wire transfers designed to make the money impossible to trace. It's clean money out, dirty gold in. And they did it over and over and over again. For years, it works. Perfectly. They are on top of the world. They feel completely untouchable. But you know how these stories go. There's always a loose thread. The whole thing starts to unravel because of one person. A single financial analyst at the Fed. This analyst is just doing their job, looking at international wire transfers, and they flag one. Just one. A transfer from NTR metals that looks weird. The paperwork seems off. It's a tiny crack in a billion-dollar dam. That one flag gets sent to Homeland Security. An agent named Colbert Almeida starts digging. He pulls on that one loose thread and the whole thing starts to come apart. He starts looking at NTR's imports. The numbers are insane. They're importing more gold from certain countries than those countries are legally mining. The math just doesn't work. So the feds open a full investigation. They get surveillance teams on the trifecta and start digging through every single piece of paper. And they get a lucky break, a huge one. Juan and his partner Renato get fired from NTR over an internal dispute. The company takes their work phones. And then the company hands those phones directly to the FBI. It's the jackpot. Agents find all the WhatsApp messages, Juan bragging about being the next Pablo Escobar, detailed conversations about the illegal mines, the shell companies, the bribes, pictures of the mules they hired to smuggle the gold. It's all there. They have the entire conspiracy in their own words. The net is closing. The feds know everything. They start flipping people. They get a courier to cooperate. They get wiretaps and are listening to everything. The paranoia starts to set in for the trifecta. They know something is wrong, but they have no idea how screwed they really are. Then comes the climax. March 15th, 2017. FBI agents roll up to Juan's mother's house in Miami and arrest him. They grab Samer and Renato. It's over. The hustle is done. And now, the aftermath. Here are the real-life photos, the mugshots. This isn't a movie. These are the faces of the three salesmen who thought they had it all figured out. Juan Granda, Samer Barrage, Renato Rodriguez. In court, they plead guilty to a money laundering conspiracy worth $3.6 billion. For running one of the biggest dirty gold schemes in history, Juan Granda gets 6 years in prison. Samer Barrage gets nearly 7 years, and Renato Rodriguez gets 7.5. Their company, NTR's parent, Elemental, is forced to pay a $15 million fine and is banned from importing gold. They flew too close to the sun. They built an empire out of mud and greed, and in the end it all came crashing down. And the scariest part? This wasn't a one-time thing. Experts say illegal gold mining is now more profitable for some cartels than cocaine, fueling devastation and human trafficking across all of South America. The story of the trifecta is just a glimpse into a dirty world that's bigger and darker than most of us could ever imagine.